Hi, Leif. Look at me talking to you even though I'm dead. That's trippy, right? Well, I'm still here. Spiritually, I'm right behind you. Whoa! That was a good one. I got you.
Nope.
I got you. I know. Yeah, I did.
This list could be anything.
I know. I wasn't the mother you wish I'd been. I did not teach you enough stuff. So I made this list of lessons I learned to be most important on this planet. Number 1, be the predator, not the prey.
Who are you, man?
Your mom and I were lovers. I'm gonna miss you, sweet girl. Your mind, your sense of humor, your taste in the morning.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, Madison, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Congratulations on Ride the Eagle. Talk to me about the day that you were inspired to write and create this film.
Well, we were in the middle of the pandemic, and it was long before the vaccines had come. And Trent O'Donnell, who I'd done about 70 episodes of New Girl with, and I just decided we wanted to make something. We just missed acting, we missed filmmaking, we missed storytelling, we missed it all. So we just committed to one another that we were going to make something and we were going to pay for it ourselves. And we put a shooting date on the schedule, which was, we just made it up. And we said, no matter what, we are starting to film that day. And so we then figured out what we had access to in terms of equipment and what we had access to in terms of locations. And we just started writing a movie based on what we knew we could get. And so we very slowly then broke this story and came up with it and then, wrote the movie.
I love that. That's so like loosey-goosey, almost like it was meant to be and meant to happen. I love when things come together that way. And there's definitely a pandemic feel to it because we all miss our loved ones so much right now. Was it strange to do the majority of the film as pretty much the only actor on set?
It was, I love acting with other actors. It's one of the things I like the most about it. I like connecting. I think a lot of actors are really fun to be in the same space with. But we knew in this movie we couldn't do that. So we knew going in there was going to be certain restrictions. So we did a lot of rehearsals. Like DRC Carden and I are never in the same space. But we're very connected in it. So we spent tons of times rehearsing together. We did tons of Zooms so we could find each other's rhythms because we would have to, while we shot those scenes, she wasn't there for mine and I wasn't there for hers. So we had to kind of remember what the other one did. So we had time to write this script. It was not an improvised movie. We had time to rehearse this script. We just didn't have a lot of time together to shoot this script. So it was kind of opposite as a lot of other projects.
Yeah, that's super interesting. But that being said, you still got to be in these gorgeous locations and be out in nature. Were you able to enjoy Mother Nature during these off days? Did you have any time to just go and do something that would be on like Honey's to-do list?
No, it would have been really fun, but I think we shot all the cabin stuff in about 6 days. But while we're doing a scene where I'm taking a hike and we're filming it, I am still enjoying it. So the enjoyment for Trent and I doing this movie and for Judd Overton, our DP, who shot a beautiful movie, was we did realize that we were up in Yosemite making a movie. So while he's doing a drone shot and I'm kayaking on the lake, it wasn't lost on us that we were on a lake and I was kayaking and they were filming. It's like we did absorb as much beauty as we could while we were working.
Mixing a little bit of business and pleasure. I love that. Did you guys stay in the cabin while you were there or did you guys
We all stayed together. It was in that era of the pandemic, there was really no going out and we weren't sure about hotels. So we had to bring food. There was no restaurants. So we packed coolers and we took turns making dinners and making breakfast and packing sandwiches like, kids again, where we just, it felt like, our crew was only 7 members deep when we were up in the mountains. So we didn't have a lot of people. So we were a really tight unit and, we all helped each other make everything work.
This is just such a perfect pandemic movie to be able to make during this time period. The dog in your film is also your real puppy, correct?
Yes. So she was we got her during the pandemic. She's a retired guide dog from Guide Dogs of America. I'd seen a documentary called Pick of the Litter about guide dogs. And I thought they were such interesting dogs, but they said that 70% of them don't make it through the program, or they make it and then need to be rehomed. So I just got on the list. You know, my kids wanted a dog and I thought like, well, let's just wait it out. And because of the pandemic, there became an availability. So I got this dog and then realized that she is truly a special creature on planet Earth. This dog has like a brain on her. So I told Trent, I was like, I think she could handle having a camera near her and not freak out, because a lot of dogs couldn't handle a crew member and not want to go get attention. She would have to sit there while a camera like pushed past her. And I was like, I think she could do the technical side of acting. So we built the movie to begin around a character who hung out with his dog nonstop. And that was the kind of seed of it.
I was going to say, how did you make your dog such a wonderful actor?
God dogs.
How do you do that?
Yeah. Well, I think
my dogs definitely can't.
No, my other dog for sure couldn't. But I got one dog who, now she's retired. I don't think she could do it again, because now she hasn't been in the program for a while, the guide dogs program. She's been in our house. And so she's now a full-on pet. So I think that sadly, her acting days are behind her. Her performance was the last waltz. She gave it everything, but now she's just a dog.
One and done, but a bravo for the performance in that film.
That's what we talk about forever. He's one of the greatest actors of our generation.
I love that. Speaking of your family, as a father yourself, what life lessons would you like to pass down to your kids one day as your character's mother did for you?
Do what you love. I think a big important thing for me in this, and the reason we wanted to make this movie was, you know, nobody got paid any money. We lost money making the movie. So when we sold it, we essentially just got our money back. But the reason that we did this movie was because we love to make movies. And because I like to act. I like to story. I like to problem solve on set. It's really fun. And what I missed in the pandemic was the fun of doing this. I was so bored of like not doing it. So my lesson to my kids would be just really try to find something you're passionate about, because you are going to spend hopefully 50 years doing it. So it'd be really great if you woke up excited to do that thing, and that thing was how you made your money, and that thing was what you obsessed about and thought about. Because that's what I realized in the pandemic, how I truly do love this game, and I don't want it to end.
Now, in order to teach them that lesson, would you ever make them a conditional list?
No, I don't think so. I don't think my wife would let me. I might do more like weird games like that, but no, she's the unconditional type. So I think she would win out with the group.
All right, that's very fair. Now that the world is beginning to finally open and people are starting to get vaccinated, what do you hope that viewers can learn from the movie's messaging?
You know, it's not a movie that necessarily wants to teach. And for me personally, I don't like things that are overly teachy. But I think the message would just be, remember how nice it is to be around people again. And even if it's people you didn't always agree with, it's okay to forgive and just go back to the fun parts without dissecting everything that happened that was bad. You know, Honey and Leif had a rocky relationship. They were both wrong. But the message that I really wanted in this, in terms of the character, he would have had a lot of fun with his mom. So like all the paintings that she did, her style, her comedy, she was a fun woman. But he was so mad about stuff from so long ago that he selfishly missed out on fun. So the only message would be selfishly forgive people so that you could have more enjoyment.
I love that. And I feel like we all need that right now after the pandemic and being alone for so much. Like, human connection is so important. And I feel like 100%. A lot of people too right now, they feel so awkward. Like, how do we talk to people again?
Just get into it. It's fine.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Just start again. Easy peasy. Just start.
I love that. So you're saying that you worked with some amazing people that you've worked with in your past. So I'm curious, how did New Girl pave the way for you to make a film like this in your career?
Well, Trent O'Donnell. So Trent O'Donnell, who was our producing director, I wouldn't be able to work with somebody new on a project like this because we just didn't have time. So there was really no time for each other's feelings or ego while we made this movie. There just wasn't enough days. So if something was happening and it wasn't working, I couldn't spend 2 hours letting him like try to find his vision or vice versa. We had so many things we had to shoot each day. So Trent and I, after doing all those years together, we know each other. We've worked with each other. We know when something is going to work or not work. So we were able to cut out a lot of kind of dead time of like, you know, in a new relationship, you got to like talk it all out and figure everything out. And if you say something and somebody gets offended, you need to explain what you meant by it. Right. With Trent and I, we don't have that because we know where the other person stands and we know that like what we think of the other person. So New Girl for me, like I would not have done this without New Girl because of Trent.
And then you got to spend all that time with Trent making this movie. At any point, did you guys have a conversation of like, when can we maybe reboot New Girl? When can we maybe get that together?
So Trent and I would both be low man on totem pole for that. That's all Liz Merriweather.
Is it too early to ask you guys for a reboot?
Well, it's irrelevant to ask us. So, we don't do anything. So it would have to be, Liz would have to write something. A network would have to approve it. And then the last stage is, I mean, you go to the cast of Friends, which is different. I don't even think they did an episode. They just talked, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you're talking about like the cast of New Girl sitting around on the bench and talking, sure, I'm sure we would do that. But like to reboot it and have a story, you know, that's got to be like thought out and written, and Trent and I aren't doing that.
Very fair. But if that were to happen, you would be down?
I mean, it depends. I'd have to see the script, the timing. I mean, I think with these reboots and all that, we kind of live in a world of fiction on it. I know Max is on a TV show right now contractually. I'm doing a show that I start in fall. Zoe, I know, is doing that celebrity dating show. I don't know what her contract is. Lamorne's on Woke. So I'm like, yeah, if every network freed us of our contracts, sure.
I get that.
Wow, that sounds fine.
Well, last question. Now that you finally have Ride the Eagle under your belt, are you excited of possibly making more movies in the future?
Yeah, possibly. You know, I really like to mix it up. So for me on this one, what was really nice was with the way the world was in that moment, everything shut down, and Trent being available and me being available, we both really felt like doing the work together. So for me, the whole thing would have to work out. It would have to be, I would see the window of time. I would want to work with the people. And if that worked, absolutely, I would love to do it again. But as of now, I start production on a TV series in fall called Minx, which I'm really excited about. And so I'm kind of, all my focus in terms of what I want to do right now is I want to create a character for that I care about. So when that ends, I might be a little burnt out of acting, and then the idea of like writing could sound really fun. But right now, acting seems really fun.
Amazing. Well, take all of your talents, and I'm so excited for your TV show, and congratulations on Ride the Eagle. It really was such a fun and heartwarming watch.
Well, I appreciate it. It was nice speaking with you. Thanks for taking the time.
Of course. Thank you, Jake.
Take care. See you soon.
My biggest regret is that we didn't spend any time together.
I'll tell you a lot of stories about her. She had quite an appetite. She was a very, very sexual animal, and that's probably not what her son wants to hear, I guess.
Are you lingering? Don't linger. Stop the tape, please. I've tried so hard to get this all together.
Shut up.
Please.